for just a second.
And their new inhabitant.
There's a new resident in Qatar. We may have a conversation about that one too. And then we have some stuff to talk about with respect to what is happening in Bible prophecy and how it relates to the time in which we are living. There is a lot of stuff there. So, David, while I get my headphones ready, give us an update. What's the latest and greatest? What's going on?
Okay. How do you want to? Let's go from the outside in or from the inside out?
There's a whatever way you want to do it.
Well, I'm going to say I'm going to throw the main flashpoint out right now that everybody's talking about in Israel, and that is Lebanon. It might be, or we might be, or it looks like it's possible that we're going to find ourselves in another clash with the Hezbollah in Lebanon. The Hezbollah has been trying to rearm itself. The Lebanese government, and again, remember, Hezbollah is an organization. It's a terrorist group funded by, trained, and supported by Iran.
Aren't they a religious organization? They're called the Party of God, Party of Allah.
The Party of, yes.
Not God, Allah. False God.
There you go. But they are not Lebanese. They live in Lebanese, and they are not Lebanese. It's like, I don't know, that's like a drug cartel taking over parts of Texas and saying, now we run this part of Texas, and the local government cannot kick them out, and that's the problem. Now, Israel has no beef with Lebanon. We don't have a problem with Lebanon besides the fact that it's being used to attack us. So when the 7th of October happened, on the 8th of October, the Hezbollah started firing rockets out of Lebanon. I mean, we didn't instigate this. And, it's like everybody's saying, oh, that's accepted behavior. Now the problem is how Israel reacts to that, and Israel has reacted with keeping their head under the ground, but really smacked the Hezbollah as an organization. Remember the Grim Beeper, and you remember the taking out of Nasrallah and of Sukkot and other things, but Hezbollah still exists there. And now Israel and the United States, by the way, is saying to Lebanon, disarm the Hezbollah, have one military in Lebanon.
Yusuf Aoun.
Exactly.
Give me a break.
But here's the thing. Lebanon doesn't have the ability to take on the Hezbollah. They don't have an ability to disarm the Hezbollah, which is why we're in this in-between. And again, the Hezbollah's whole existence is their struggle against Israel. So they're using Israel to justify the fact that they're not giving up their weapons to the Lebanese government or becoming a part of the Lebanese military establishment. And that's the situation. And here's the thing. Israel cannot allow southern Lebanon to become another base from which to attack. There was a piece on Lebanese television yesterday of a Lebanese reporter going into a Hezbollah tunnel on the border with Israel. The tunnel was as big as a hotel. It had places for arms. It had a little hospital inside, little communication center inside, an arms depot. What I'm trying to say is they were ready to pull off a 7th of October style attack across the border into northern Israel from Lebanon. And Israel is saying, we can't allow that to happen. We will not allow that to happen. We would like the Lebanese government to disarm the Hezbollah, but if they don't do it, we'll do it. But here we go again, and Israel's being blamed for. I actually saw Anna Kasparian, I think her name is, with Bill Maher on TV, saying, "Oh, Israel's going in to conquer parts of southern Lebanon because they will have imperialistic and tendencies." And I'm saying, no, I didn't want to go into southern Lebanon. Southern Lebanon became a base to attack Israel, and we react to attacks. But here's the thing. The enemy likes to flip.
Yeah.
Okay, so they'll attack, and then when we react to the attack, they'll flip it over and say, oh, we're the victims. And to a certain extent, that's what's happening in Lebanon right now.
Well, I mean, and then listen, I mean, we're talking about a bunch of very serious liars. You know, they're making those statements based on things that are manipulation. And we know that. Look, we've already talked about this. The problem here is, and it's a bigger problem than anybody wants to admit or a bigger problem than anybody wants to deal with, and that is if you're going to get rid of Hezbollah and if you're going to deal with the problem that is that cancer, you have to bring Israel in. Israel has to act. There's no other way. What's going to happen? Are you going to have United States boots on the ground?
No. But here's the thing. Is Israel going to have to put boots on the ground? We still have 5 strategic points inside southern Lebanon. Now, about 3 weeks ago, I was on the border between southern Lebanon and Israel. And it turns out that right on the border, there's a memorial site for the South Lebanese Army. Now, Israel did try to create a local army that sits in the southern part of Lebanon that will be against the Hezbollah and against the different aspects. I mean, it was that was a situation after Israel kicked out the PLO. But again, the hatred for Israel in the nations around us supersedes any political issue. For instance, Lebanon found major amounts of offshore gas, just like Israel did at Leviathan. But no American, no foreign country is willing to invest in, developing that offshore gas resource. So it is not being developed because of the military situation with Hezbollah there. America is saying, if you get rid of Hezbollah, we will open the doors for investment from the whole world to turn Lebanese into another, Doha. Into another Qatar. I mean, there's huge amounts of natural gas there. It cannot be developed as long as the Hezbollah is still in power. But the need to keep Hezbollah in power, the need to fight against Israel, supersedes the economic needs of the state of Lebanon. And that is the situation right now. And again, it's hilarious when you think about it, but everybody's accepting it like that. You want another hilarious and everybody's accepting? Okay, who's moved forces into northern Syria?
Oh yeah, that's a whole other situation, man. That's
who's blaming ugly. Israel for holding on to pieces of southern Syria, and it's not acceptable that Israel is using southern Syria to buffer itself. It's not acceptable that Israel is using southern Syria to defend the Druze in southern Syria. But in the meantime, as I am saying this, my forces are moving into northern Syria and taking up massive amounts of territory in northern Syria. Nobody blames them for colonialism, imperialism, and whateverism.
Listen, let me just explain something about Syria. This is critical, and it's been something I've been saying a lot, and people call me crazy. Almost every time I say it, they're calling me crazy a lot less now. But when Giuliani became their illegitimate president, it was at that very moment that you saw the height of Turkish colonization. Okay? That was Turkish colonialism. Let's just call it what it is. Okay? It was Turkey stepping in and marking their territory. By the way, with the consent of the United States of America.
Totally.
With the consent of people that hate Bibi so much that they're actually willing to put the state of Israel at greater risk. And, of course, with the consent of virtually all, let me just say this again, virtually all of the Gulf Coalition Group.
And the Western nations, by the way.
The Coordination Council, the Gulf Coordination Council, the GCC, all of them, with the exception, by the way, who voiced a little bit of an objection, Qatar.
All right.
Isn't that interesting? The politics there.
Well, that shows a little bit of what's going on. And this is the Cold War that's going on right now. In the world where...
It's not cold.
Well, yeah, but you've got...
Not anymore.
Got Qatar and Saudi... You've got Qatar on one side, okay? Iran to a certain extent, and you've got Saudi Arabia and the UAE on the other side.
100%.
And by the way, you know who we have not heard a word about in this whole thing?
Well, there's a few people we haven't heard a word about.
Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan has been
Jordan has been silent.
Egypt too, believe it or not.
Well, Egypt's playing more of a role, but I have not heard a word besides the Queen of Jordan calling Israel baby killers again.
She's an idiot. I'm
Well,
sorry.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I think she's wife number 3.
Yeah, I mean,
What number is she?
he'll I think 4. Actually.
4. But here's the thing. So Syria and Lebanon are waiting to be stabilized. There is negotiation going on underground between Turkey and Israel. And there's going to be a line that is going to be drawn on the Syrian sand, which says Turkey will not be allowed south of this line. And if they do go any further south on this line, Israel will retaliate and pick up on that. But again, this is something that is happening as we speak. So that's the situation on the northern part of Israel. We still haven't figured out.
I got a question on this.
Right.
Just help me figure this out by the crazy left in Israel. Like just
here we go.
Just help me figure this out, okay? You have the craziness with the military attorney general, for lack of a better term, right? You've got the insanity with the corrupt attorney general. You have the craziness on the left that understand that Bibi Netanyahu, if he had to get voted for, if they had to have 3 elections in a row, he'd get voted for every single time. You actually have the right, and when I talk about the right, I'm talking about the religious right. They are weakening slightly because they recognize that they are no longer the glue that holds his coalition together.
Yeah, but
okay?
There's a new center right growing up in Israel.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go into that if you want to.
Granted, it seems as though the new center right doesn't seem to hate Bibi at all.
Oh no,
they are powered by Likud, partially.
Yeah.
Partially. By the way, there are some Labor Party people that identify in the center right,
and
which is amazing.
Here's the thing: if anybody's looking for channels, I've been watching I-24.
Yeah, very good.
Now I-24 has a Hebrew, an English, a French, and an Arabic version, by the way, and they are center right.
Yeah,
they're very, very center right.
Very much so. Yeah.
Okay, but they're not. They don't have the religious twist that Channel 14 has.
Yeah, that's a fair statement.
So if you're looking for a center-right source of news in Israel, try the I-24. They've got, it's online and they've got an app and it's an English version. But what I'm trying to say, there's a growing sentiment inside Israel, okay, that says we are going to live on our sword for generation after generation. Now, the left was the part that couldn't agree with this. And that is, to a certain extent, our left, our woke, our progressive, saying, no, there has to be a peaceful solution. There has to be love.
David,
and what I'm saying is this, just like here, the people who are upset with Secretary of War that is taking out boats of narco-terrorists, okay, and they're standing up for the rights of those poor, oppressed the
same
people.
Ones that would smoke you in 5 seconds.
Again, we have those in Israel too. We have those in Israel. And what the, I think, what do you call it? JAG? There was a TV show called JAG I used to enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's what she was. She was the how do you say?
In essence, the Judge Advocate General.
The
That's
Judge
exactly
Advocate
what she was.
General of the Israeli army, who believed that she had to publish this terrible lie about these reservists.
Fake. They were fake videos.
But she did it because she believed that she had to defend the rights of these poor, oppressed Palestinians. And we have those among us. And again, 60% of the Jews voted for Mamdani. 60% of the Jews under the age of 30 in New York.
16%. 16% of all Jews in New York voted for him.
60% of all the Jews under the age of 30 voted for Mamdani.
Yeah,
And I'm saying to myself, wait a minute.
Well, that number is 72% of everybody in that age category voted for him.
Well, But here's something I learned this week, and I've been trying to figure out where the Jews are going through. You know the name Yosef ben Matityahu, Josephus Flavius,
of course.
who gave us a description, who turned coat. He was a Jewish general who turned coat and sided with the Romans as they dismantled.
Oh,
the
come on, David.
Jerusalem.
He was just trying to survive.
Okay.
That was sarcasm, everybody.
All right.
I just want everybody to know that it was sarcasm. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
But it turns out that he wasn't the only one. And I'm going to go back and let me see if I can find the name here. Okay, the chief of staff of the Roman army that conquered Jerusalem, the chief of staff of Titus, who literally dismantled the temple in Jerusalem, was a Jew.
Yeah. No, I know that. You know what's really interesting, too?
Let me give you his name. Tiberius Julius Alexander.
Yeah, but I don't remember his original Jewish name.
I don't remember anything, but he was.
It was David, actually.
He was. I don't remember. He was a nephew, though, of Philo of Alexandria.
Yeah.
Who was
another.
And again, these are the Jews who were literally part of dismantling the temple in Jerusalem. And what are we surprised that we have Bernie Sanders now? Or are we surprised that we have George Soros?
But I gotta stop this for a second, because I have to say this. Like, even if you look at Josephus or you look at Philo, any of these guys, at least what we got out of them were historical record accounts. Yes, some of them leaned favorably towards the Romans. But the reality of it is they were accurate.
Okay.
Very rarely did we get anything inaccurate out of them, especially when you look at Josephus and you look at the Antiquities of the Jews and some of these other contributions that were made. The leftists here, the ones of today, you get nothing out of them. The only thing you get out of them is pain and suffering. The only thing you get out of them is just idiotic behavior.
So again, here's what happens. Jews move into a new area. They create, for instance, a new industry. It becomes successful. The Jewish values are part of what make it successful. And when it does become successful, they turn their back on the Judeo-Christian values and turn it into something else. Do you know what I'm talking about right now?
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about Hollywood.
Oh, 100%.
There you go. Classic example. Hollywood was invented by the Jews.
I sat down with Charlie Kirk 3 years ago, 2 years ago, actually, at my church. We're sitting down for our Thanksgiving service. And we both put a call out to every single one of these Jews that are in New York and, all these other places that are giving their millions and billions of dollars to the destruction of their own state. I mean, and that's what I'm trying to understand when it comes to the left. How is it that these leftists, I mean, I don't get it. And by the way, it's a lot worse than, hey, that tranny's my friend, and it's way worse than that. The leftism that exists within Israel is the propagandist arm of Islam. I mean, is there any other way of saying it?
Yeah, but the leftism that's been in Israel down through the ages, and I mean, go back to Exodus. I mean, we were almost destroyed by God, I think something like 7 times in Exodus because of these kinds of Jews.
But this goes even beyond the let's go worship a cow, our golden calf. This is the leftists of that time existed under that.
James, I think it's very similar. These are the people whose mindset is we need to worship something other than God. We need to worship something other than our heritage. We need to worship something other than our history. And they find something else. So they worship, and I'm going to say the golden calf of today is, I'm going to say the feel-goodism. People want to feel good. They want to feel good.
How's it working for you?
Well, here's the thing.
How's it working for you? October 7th, your relatives were hearing Allahu Akbar while they were losing their children and their children's children. How's it working for you, Israeli left?
By the way, I think Israel has woken up a little bit. Or 10. There was a massive...
Like all those friends at the Hebrew University?
Well, no.
Really?
Not
Come
the
on.
Hebrew University. But last 2 weeks ago, I think it was, there was a huge exercise that was run by Israeli government facilities, meaning the Ministry of Absorption, the Ministry of Housing, the Ministry of Economy, or the Secretary of Economy, about what would we do if we got an influx of 500,000 Jews in a couple of weeks. And Israel is getting prepared for that, housing-wise.
I think that number will be bigger.
I think it will too. But, I mean, that's the exercise that they put together. I mean, El Al. Okay, how will El Al get itself ready to fly out hundreds of thousands of Jews in a short notice? Israel is getting prepared.
El Al probably won't because they're too expensive.
Well, no, El Al has done things in the past.
No, I know. I'm joking.
Yeah, but they are crazy expensive. But that's when you have a monopoly on the situation. Yeah. But again, the state of Israel has seen, and I think more and more Jews, and we're getting ready. The state of Israel is getting ready for an influx, a massive influx of Jews that might happen at any moment. And
yeah, but here's my question: is that by any stretch of the imagination a surprise? Is it a surprise? And here's the question. How many of these Jews coming in to Israel, how many of them are ones that will have learned their lesson?
I'm going to say, I think I had a conversation with Rob and Olivia the other day about exactly that, okay? And I'm going to say, if you look at the people who made their way to Israel down through the ages, I mean, again, a quick reminder, so people who don't kind of forget this. Do you understand that there's only 14, 15 million Jews worldwide?
Yeah, of course.
Okay?
Give me a
half
break.
of them in Israel and half of them are spread around the rest of the world. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, if you look at the people who have emigrated to Israel down through the ages, I mean in the 1890s, in the 1920s, 1930s, they were mostly people who fled persecution, not people who came from ideological reasons. So the big influxes of aliyah, of immigration, the kibbutzim that were created, were European Jews who ran away from the pogroms. The Zionist movement was created to find a place for the Jews to get away. Theodor Herzl says we need to do this so the Jews have a place to get away to. So what I'm trying to say is persecution, fuels immigration to Israel more than ideology.
Well, 100%. I mean, that's always been the history of Israel. It's not like. So
this is going to happen again. I mean, the persecution is going to bring the Jews home. That's what's going to happen.
What are we doing about the leftists that are trying to make it way harder? The leftists in country and the leftists that are like, for example, the East Coast leftists.
Well, there's two things that are happening in Israel right now, and maybe that's going to be. Israel has moved to the right. The fact that I could sit down and talk about I-24 that did not exist almost as a television channel 5 years ago.
Yeah,
The fact that I can sit down and talk about Channel 14 that is skyrocketed through the roof because people are tired with. Israel has moved to the right, and a couple of interesting things are happening. As a result of that, the Likud is going to take the next election no matter what.
Not even a
question. Though the coalition is a question. We'll see how that works out. But another thing that is happening.
I think he wins the coalition by a good amount, probably more than he's ever won it before.
We can sit down and go through the polls, and again, the question is how accurate the polls are. But another thing that is happening really, really big time, and people need to understand this because it plays a role in everything that we're talking about. Israel is pregnant. All of Israel is pregnant. I mean, I was walking through the mall in Modi'in, okay, either baby carts or babies in tummies. I mean, there's a baby boom going on, not only in the religious parts of the population, but even the secular Israelis are having more children. Israel is the only country where the birth rate is higher than I think 3.1 or 3.2, if I remember correctly, something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, we replaced the only Western country that has that kind of birth rate. And what I'm trying to say is that Israel is moving to the right, and Israel is moving to growing. And there is a fundamentalist, there's a conservative, revival in Israel. So I think Israel is moving in the right direction. Again, we're going to have our people in Tel Aviv that are going to be affiliated with people in New York. But I think it's a matter of time till most of the people from New York move out. And I think pray for us. We're going to get a massive influx of Jews, I think, in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen sooner than later because when people like Mamdani, give me a break, Jews are not going to find a homeland in New York. It's just not going to happen. And there's already been a mass migration anyway when it comes to that. But it's bad. It's bad.
The dynamic that I see happening in New York is the classical Jewish anti-Semitic dynamic. It's going to go like this. Okay, I'm promising you a better economy. I'm promising you housing. I'm promising you this and this and this. And when he comes into power, it's not going to work because his promises are actually etched on the ice. So what is he going to do? He's going to need to blame somebody for not being able to fulfill his promises. Who's he going to blame? He's going to blame the Jewish bankers and the Jewish landlords. And boom, trach, we're back in 1938 in Nazi Germany. Same idea. Then he's going to plug into the feeling of young men's anger that they're not succeeding, and he's going to use them to fuel the revolution. And again, we're going to find another Kristallnacht going through Fifth Avenue in the United States. Times Square's windows are going to be broken by crazy young men who need to bring the rage out. And again, we're watching. Here's the thing. I can't help but when I studied about the Holocaust, I'm saying, why didn't they see it? Why didn't they know it? And to a certain extent, I think it was Konstantin Kisin who says people's memory goes back 2 generations, no more than that. Personal memory. So they didn't have any personal memory. We're 2 generations from the Holocaust. We are now 2 generations from the Holocaust, basically. People don't remember what happened.
Yep.
And I think this is part of...
It's the ghettos all over again. That's where it's going to go.
The hatred. The Jews are to blame.
There's already a digital version of it happening right now. I'm not kidding.
A digital ghetto?
Yeah.
I like that.
It's already happening.
Explain the digital ghetto. I haven't heard that one yet.
Okay, so let's visit it like this, okay? When the ghettos were created and when we began to see them begin to develop in full force during World War II Germany, okay, Nazi Germany, okay, what was the general thought of the average Jew during that time who was living in Germany? I know what you're going to say.
It's going to blow over.
Yes. It's going to blow over.
This is temporary.
Not only is it going to blow over and it's going to be temporary, we're going to be cooperative because we're good citizens.
Not only that, there was a trust in their neighbors. Oh, these are the neighbors that my children grew up with in kindergarten together.
They'll take care of our homes.
Yep,
they'll watch over our property. They'll make sure nothing gets stolen, ran over, any of that.
They know us. They can't believe that we are ruling the world and destroying Germany. They can't believe it.
100%. 100%.
Okay, by the way, I've got the same feeling today. People who know me and say, wait a minute. You're part of an army that kills babies? You know me. You know who I am. How can you accept that I'm part of an army that kills babies? How can you accept that I'm part of a military tradition that actually fuels genocide? You know me. You should know better because you know me. And it doesn't work.
And look at what's happening right now on the digital spectrum. Look at what's taking place.
Okay. And here's the thing. The digital spectrum actually just amplifies the feelings that are coming from underneath. And there are people who know how to use it. Nick Fuentes knows how to use the digital amplifier in order to grab onto the feeling and the sentiment of these people that is there. He didn't create anti-Semitism.
Right.
Okay, but he's plugging into it.
Yep.
Okay. By the way, even in the Christian world, all right, I'm seeing churches turning their back on Israel. I'm not hearing pro-Israel rhetoric. I'm hearing more and more people saying, well, it looks bad. I don't want to be associated with Israel. I don't want to hear about Israel. I don't want to touch anything about Israel. We're seeing more and more of that in more and more of the churches, James.
Yep. And I mean, a lot of that is because there's just a bunch of pastors that are just absolute cowards that actually don't want to deal with anything. And you know what they're like? They're like the pastors during World War II Nazi Germany that turned up the worship music as Jews were being thrown in trains.
Well,
to block out the sound of Jews screaming.
So should a shepherd lead the sheep or should a shepherd follow the sheep? And I think
you lead them. I mean, obviously, you lead them.
I think we're seeing more and more who are looking at and because of the media world, because I need likes, because I need the algorithm to kind of expand me. Okay, what is an algorithm? The algorithm looks at where the sheep are going and actually aims everywhere in that direction. That goes against what being a pastor is.
The algorithm is the audience. I mean, it's 100% right. And you are not the algorithm if you're a pastor. You're a leader.
Exactly.
100,000 million%. It's a great observation.
And what we're seeing is more and more pastors are in the name of the algorithm, in the name of not, even if they're not anti-Israel, they're not going to lead the flock in the direction of supporting Israel. They might not come out and say, I'm anti-Israel, but they won't come out and say Israel is being attacked. It's our jobs as Christians to stand up for Israel. There's a difference. I mean,
not even a chance that there's something that what you're saying is wrong. Not even a chance. It's 100% correct.
And this is happening in our churches. This is happening in
Calvary chapels.
Yeah,
it's happening in Calvary chapels. We talked about this. It's so hilarious to me what's going on. I just saw some video of a young guy, and I'm kind of hot to trot over it because it's, Revelation. It's the subject of the book of Revelation, which, by the way, the book of Revelation is breaking every record imaginable. Your guys' support is amazing. We are number one in multiple categories. I thought that would be something that I would say. We are still technically in the pre-sales phase, and I would love for you guys to go out and to buy the book. We are on Amazon. We'll put up the link to that. Our moderators will do that. Our wonderful moderators, by the way, amazing people. Thank you, Dean. I think Dean is the only one up right now, but you guys are awesome. But I want to simply say this about this book. It is reaching lots of people. It is reaching lots of people, and I want it to reach so much more. We are just scratching the surface. By the way, I want to ask you guys, I want to put in a prayer request, and I want all of you guys to take some time to fast and to pray, okay? No joke. I'm not kidding, okay? Joe Rogan recently went on the air and talked about his interest in the book of Revelation.
Opa.
No joke.
Opa.
Okay? Pray. You guys fast and pray that somehow, some way, Joe Rogan will get a copy of this book in his hand.
That's cool.
I want you guys to just fast and pray. I don't know how God's going to do it, but I would love to see the Lord make that happen.
So, how do you explain Joe Rogan moving in this direction? And we can see it.
God is moving in his heart. I mean, it's a spiritual thing.
And Tucker Carlson moving in that direction.
Yeah, I know. Listen.
How do we explain to the people where's the split? Where's the split on that? Why is this going in that direction and this going in this direction? And again, this is God moving Joe and this is Satan moving Tucker.
There is still a part of me that believes that Tucker has still never had anybody that could make an argument worth a bean sit in front of him.
Okay.
And talk to him. And we're praying that the Lord opens that door. I believe the Lord will open that door, by the way. I believe that's going to end up happening.
I get it. Again, I'm trying to understand why is Tucker being used like this in such a way, and why is Joe being used like this in such a way? I mean, what's the difference between the two of them? If you want to kind of figure out what the dynamic is. By the way, Tucker's not the only one. There are more and more right wing conservative. I'm still having a question about where JD Vance is. I'm kind of wondering which route he's going down. But even people who were considered friends of Israel.
I think the Nick Fuentes contingency of people hate JD Vance.
Probably.
No, not probably. It's make no mistake about it. He is not the worthy one. They view him as a government plant. That's how they view him.
So who is the worthy one in their mind?
That's a good question. I don't know, to be honest with you.
Because we need to fight against that.
I don't know who they would deem as being the worthy one.
We need to fight against that.
But I can tell you this. I know that there are more than enough people making an issue of it where the other side is getting press that they don't deserve.
Mm-hmm.
Which is something that I think is also worthwhile talking about. Anyway, before we go back to our full screen, because I'm going to show you guys some video. We're going to continue on with some of that video that we saw last week, because some of it is just outrageous. You want to talk about the spirit of Antichrist, and it goes back to Israel, by the way, believe it or not, because it's spiritual. It's absolutely spiritual. Do not, if you have not gotten it already, please do not hesitate to go online where books are sold. Right now, we're encouraging people to go to Amazon. Eventually, you'll get a direct link to my website to do this. But we want people to go on Amazon to buy this book. And the reason why is because it will up the rankings. And as it ups the rankings, then Amazon puts it out in front of a whole lot more people. Very similar to the way YouTube videos are done. So I would humbly ask that you go online and that you buy the book. If for whatever reason you cannot buy the hardback because it says it cannot deliver to your address, we hope to have that issue solved within the next 24 hours. But in the meantime, it is also in ebook version. Either way, we are very close to ranking as #1 bestseller. It's almost there.
Ebook?
It does. We do have an ebook version.
Is it audio yet?
It will not be audio for a while. Yeah. Audio will probably come within the next 4 to 6 months when paper. We won't even release a paperback until another 4 to 6 months.
Who's doing the audio?
I would do it. I'll read it. It'll be my voice.
That's cool.
Yeah. It'll be my voice. Not hard. I mean, it'll probably take me, 2 10-hour days to do it, and I could easily do it.
Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't be.
Good luck. I once narrated a book. It was terrible. I hated it.
Well, listen, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. This, by the way, I just want everybody to know this. This book that I wrote was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. We worked. I worked extraordinarily hard on this book. And somebody asked me, they said, well, James, is it AI written? Is it a ghostwriter? Is it all of that? No, it's my words, my book. There was a man that I hired that took all of my teaching transcripts my teaching studies from the book of Revelation, which, by the way, just so you guys understand, this is a little description of how the book got put together. Almost 4 years ago, when I started studying to teach Revelation at the church, I taught it with the understanding that eventually it would become a book. So all the research that I did and many of the issues that I brought up while I was teaching it, I knew that it would eventually become a book. So we took those Bible studies, we made transcripts out of them, and then my editor gave me those transcripts in a form that was palatable to kind of start. Then I spent hundreds of hours going through all of those transcripts, adding things, taking things away, building it out. And then he took it, my words, he took my work, and he made it beautiful. So when you open this book and you read it, you will hear my voice. They're my words. It's my writing. You will be blessed. And the guy that helped me with it is an amazing man. The guy is like super gifted. He will not let a good book fall. He just won't. He's amazing. You know who turned me on to him are my friends over at Steve Turley's team. I don't know if you know who Steve Turley is. Many of you might know who he is. He's a great guy. I just love Steve. I love his crew. I love Ralph. I love that whole crew. Go. So they, by the way, Steve is probably a couple million strong, maybe 3 million strong on YouTube. Whoa. Really, really, really smart guy. Anyway, but he has an orthodox. He's like Orthodox leaning. He's a believer, loves the Lord, but he's kind of Orthodox leaning. Anyway, great guy. No, not that kind of Orthodox.
Okay.
But he is amazing guy. Dr. Steve's an amazing guy. Anyway, his strategy team turned me on to this guy who then sat down and over the last year has helped me to get this thing done and out of the way. It was pretty remarkable. It was pretty remarkable. It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
So I think you're going to love the book. I would be willing to bet you that you could ask me anything in the book and I would pretty much have it memorized. That's how much work I put into it.
Page 52, second
Well,
paragraph.
I don't know the page numbers, but if you tell me the section, I can tell you, oh yeah, I said this, I said that, I said this. It's a great book. I would love for you guys to jump on. Help us rank number 1. That's a really important
I've already
thing.
bought one.
Yeah, but I was going to give you one signed.
Well, so here's the thing. Christy bought one. We needed to rank up the we're part of it.
I do appreciate that. We are number 1 in multiple categories for early releases. For new releases, we are number 1 in multiple categories, but we want to rank in the best-selling category, and we are like a few like in one area, I think I'm number 3. In another area, I'm number 2. In another area, I'm like number 13 or 15. Let's get those up. That would help immensely.
Let's do it.
Okay. Now, with that said,
the book is about Revelation, just so you know.
I
mean, that's the end of the story.
It's a commentary on the book of Revelation. By the way, this specific book right here, okay, this specific book goes from chapters 1 through 11. There is a part 2 coming out next year, okay, that I'm extraordinarily excited about. In 2026, it's coming out. Very, very excited about it. It's going to be a great book. Really, really helpful. I think the people who are buying this book and will read this book here, the one that we just released, you're going to love it. You're going to find it very beneficial. It's going to minister to you. It's going to encourage you. By the way, I will be at AmFest. America Fest.
Okay.
That's Turning Point's event. At the end of the year, taking questions.
Yes.
And I will be signing books at AmFest. And I will be doing a lot of other things at AmFest. A lot of other things. Very excited, by the way, to be doing it. Great to serve Erica and the team over there.
How's she doing, by the way?
She's a monster.
Okay.
She's just a spiritual giant.
So
I'm so proud of Erica.
I saw Turning Point come out and answer some of the things that Kaddis said.
Oh, yeah.
That was interesting.
That showdown is going to be awesome. I'm telling you right now. It's going to be spectacular.
Do you know if Kaddis is going to be at the AmFest?
No way.
Well, there was talk about her maybe being there.
No.
Tucker is.
No, yeah, Tucker will be. Yep.
Are you going to get to meet him?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna, which is a blessing.
Please be nice to him. And
of course, I'm gonna be nice to him.
Show him Christian love. Okay. Do not, okay.
I listen. Tucker is one of those guys that I've prayed for God to give me the opportunity to talk to. Can I tell you something about Tucker Carlson? It's kind of interesting. Tucker Carlson every now and then mentions somebody that's on his staff that he really respects and admires for her walk with God. Okay, that's his chief of staff that he's talking about.
Okay.
She is an absolutely amazing young lady. I have an immense amount of respect for her. She listens to me every single video that I make for Bible in 365. She's a wonderful woman. Young lady, very smart, very sharp. She she is my answer to prayer for Tucker because she's a good influence on her boss.
Okay.
Like if she wasn't around, I'd probably be a little concerned. A lot concerned, actually. I mean, I'm still a lot concerned, but you know what I mean.
Well, I don't know her, and I'm really concerned.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Emily's a good girl.
What's her name?
Emily. She's
Okay.
she's wonderful.
All right.
She's a wonderful lady. Anyway, with all that said, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a phenomenal, literally, it's going to be a phenomenal time.
Okay.
I think it's going to be amazing.
When is it?
I have to go look at the dates. 17th, 18th, 19th, I think, something like that.
Mid-December.
Almost before Christmas, the week before Christmas.
So,
It's gonna be great. We're looking forward to it. I'm getting all the logistics today and all of that. It's gonna be a great time. By the way, you know who keeps beating me out in many of the categories? Like I'm right behind David Jeremiah. I think I'm going to catch up to him. I think I'm going to. We'll see.
I mean that's a good.
But you know who I may not catch up to?
Ooh.
In one of the general categories, and I'm literally like right behind him. He's number one. He's going to stay at number one probably for a very long time. I don't think I'm going to beat him in that category. Charlie Kirk.
Oh,
makes me so happy.
What his
his
Shabbat
book
book
on the Shabbat.
His Shabbat book.
How can I just ask you this? How absolutely beautiful is that? That the very last book that he wrote, he spent like 3 years researching it.
Yeah.
I had
heard
conversations with him about the Shabbat.
I need to read that.
His love for the Jewish people and his love for the law, the Torah, pretty remarkable.
But then that got turned upside down and brought up against him at some point.
But you know what? That's what the enemy's going to do.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you, though, my Shabbat experience at Yarden's wedding or the Shabbat after the wedding?
I don't think you did.
Well, according to Jewish tradition...
Yarden is his son, by the way, you guys.
Yarden is my son. Got married when I was in Israel.
By the way, you may have not heard that term in Hebrew. It's Jordan in English. Yarden basically means north of Dan. If you ever, for any of you guys that are interested, a little bit of a technical talk.
And names, how do you say, biblical names that you would kind of recognize with the J in many cases have a Y.
Yeah, you would never know.
Like Jerusalem
you
is Yerushalayim. Like Yeshua is Jesus. I mean, so Yarden is my son. He was my oldest. He's an Orthodox Jew. He's a Chabadnik.
Sweet guy, by the way. I got to meet him many months ago.
Very, very sharp. But my experience is that because the first Sabbath after somebody gets married, the bridegroom has I'm going to say, for lack of a better word, a religious party at the local cemetery, at the local synagogue. Sorry. That
was a Freudian split.
That's a balagan. Okay.
That was a Freudian split right there.
Christy, don't laugh. Okay.
I think that's hilarious.
But because you can't drive on the Sabbath, according to Jewish tradition. So the families of the bride and the groom find a place, and either they come to this house or they come to this house, and they're there for the weekend. And they go to the synagogue on the weekend, and they spend the whole weekend together. And I spent the whole weekend in a little facility, and I spent the whole weekend in the synagogue. And it's very interesting to see people who dedicate, yes, we're Christians. Yes, we go to church. But you don't go to church on Friday evening for 3 hours, and then on Saturday morning for 3 hours, and Saturday afternoon for another 2 hours. You don't engross or insert yourself into your religious life for so much the way Jews do that on a Saturday.
It's beautiful.
And I kind of was, I can argue about what I think, I can argue about what but just think about a whole day dedicated. And really, you can't turn on your cell phone. You can't drive your car. You can't. There is an element of positivity in that I think we should kind of think about. There's no parking lots at a synagogue. It's one of the things a lot of people don't really understand.
Yeah, you walk.
You have to walk. So it's a community kind of environment. So Yarden had to read. He read the Passion from the Torah. We read a portion from each week has a different portion from the Torah. He had the great honor because he's a bridegroom. Because he's the groom, to actually read the portion, and then he gets to bring people up to read the portion. I get to read the portion in the Torah.
Wow.
Exactly. And what I'm trying to say is, it's a level of dedication that we as Christians, in some cases, even if we don't want to do exactly the same thing, we should learn from that dedication.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Okay, so everything centers around Jerusalem.
Amen.
I mean, bro, I don't think that people realize that the more contention centers around Jerusalem, the more the rest of the world is eating itself.
I wonder, it may be because it came up the other day when I was talking to somebody, and and I'm saying, do you know what another name for the city of Jerusalem is? It's Zion.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So if you are a Bible reading Christian, you are a Zionist.
100%.
Yeah, but here, I actually, it's hard. I mean, even Christians today have a hard time saying, I'm a Zionist. I don't know how somehow the word Zionist has become a derogatory term.
Man, I mean, the apple of God's very eye. God loves her. God loves Mount Zion. How in the world?
Well, you just wrote, Revelation says that the landing pad for Christ when he comes back is Mount Zion.
We know that.
Yeah, but again, even pastors have a problem saying I'm a Zionist.
Well, the destination becomes Mount Zion. I mean, according to Zechariah 14, he touches his foot down on the Mount of Olives, basically. It's when the valley splits, and it's an amazing thing. But the center for victory becomes exactly that. That's exactly what it is. I mean, look at what Isaiah says. What a beautiful picture. As a matter of fact, when the new IDF chief of staff came in, he went to the Temple Mount and he actually quoted that passage in Isaiah that talks about the word of God being preached from his holy mountain. What is he talking about when he says his holy mountain? We know.
So why do people have a problem with Zionism today?
Because Satan hates God, and Satan hates God's ancestrally chosen people.
Just to make it clear, Zion is the name of the land. Zionism is the name of the political movement or the national movement or the spiritual movement that says that Jews should live in Zion.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, it is Jewish self-determination, just like Frenchism is French people should live in France. And how do you say, Aboriginal Australian means that Aborigines should live in Australia.
Yep.
Zionism is I'm going to say the ancestral home of the Jewish people, and it is basically the return of the Jews to their ancestral. We are the indigenous people there. That's part of the problem.
Yep.
So anyway, I mean, just the fact that Zionism has become a problematic term, it's like saying, oh, well, Christianity is we don't want to say Christianity. We're not Christians. We don't want to say Christianity.
Yeah.
By the way, the Messianic movement doesn't call itself Christians for the same reason. You have that kind of dynamic. So I'm sorry to say we all are Zionists, and whether you accept it or not, but this is part of the war that's being kind of fought against Israel.
Well, and this is such an important issue for us to understand and to think about, because if you get rid of Jews, if you get rid of Israel, if you get rid of what the Bible says concerning the future of Israel, you get rid of the promise of God for your salvation. It doesn't even matter. All of those things become uniquely superfluous. They literally don't matter anymore. All is lost at that point.
So that's not being, or what I'm not saying is that all Jews are saved. Okay?
No, come on.
And I'm not saying that all Jews are right. And I'm not saying that all Jews do the right thing. And I'm not even saying that Israel does the right thing. And I'm not saying that Bibi Netanyahu. That doesn't mean, being a Zionist doesn't mean that you think that the Israeli government is always right. Okay? Being a Zionist means that you believe that God said that he will bring his people back to his land.
Yep.
And you can see that happening.
We see it. Yep.
But I hear this argument sometimes. Okay, but we're all saved, and being a Jewish doesn't mean you're saved, and there is a difference. Yes, there is a difference.
Yeah, but why does that negate? I mean, I guess my question is why does that negate the whole idea of embracing Mount Zion? That to me that's the bigger problem here. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But it is what it is it's satanic. I mean, that's really in essence the best way of putting it. Okay. Should we talk more about this AI stuff?
Ooh, let's go. We had a good time on that one last time.
And you know what? I think it's such a big deal. And I'm going to say this again because this is in light of the book that I've written. I chose to write this book for reasons that relate exactly to this. Like this is, we are literally living in the last days. We're approaching this rapidly. And that's why I wrote this. I wrote this so that people will have clarity in the book of Revelation. And by the way, you amazing people, like amazing people that are giving us super chats and super stickers, can I first and foremost just say thank you and that you're amazing, number one? But number two, for the next few live shows, I'm asking that instead of the super chats or the super stickers, you go and you buy books.
Yep.
Now, if you've already bought one and you want a super chat or super, hey, great, thank you. You're amazing. Your support is wonderful, and I'm grateful to the Lord for you. But I really want to get word of this book out to people. And if there's anybody here, by the way, that's connected to Joe Rogan, take my book and give it to them. Okay, please? I really, when I hear that people have an interest in the book of Revelation, like I badly want to give them this material.
It is something that we need to connect to. And again, this is part of the discussion that we need to fight Satan on the ground. We need to fight Satan in the sphere and in the battlefields of the world today.
100%. Okay, this is going to get interesting.
Okay.
So we've been following this a little bit, and actually, I think next week's live show, we're going to comment on the whole of this.
Ooh.
Because we're going to dedicate one of these shows to AI. I think it's a fitting thing to do. This one alarmed me immensely. This show really alarmed me because of what this guy is saying. Now, the guy that is being interviewed is probably one of the most influential guys in AI, or one of the most known guys in the AI world. And what he's saying here is kind of scary. Now, for us, it's not scary because we have the Lord, right? But take a listen to some of this stuff. Look at the question that he's about to ask, by the way, and listen to how the answer to the question is imposed. Because, let me give you a hint. For all of you Revelation people, what they are beginning to talk about right now is Revelation 13. They are going to be talking about the mark of the beast, not necessarily the mark in and of itself, but the economy of the mark of the beast. They're about to talk about this. Here we go. Universal basic income with AI. Let's take a listen. It's interesting.
One of the big questions I've had on my mind, I think it's in part because I saw those humanoid robots, and I sent this to my friends, and we had a little discussion in WhatsApp, is in such a world, and I don't know whether you're interested in answering this, but what do we do? I was actually pulled up at the gym the other day with my girlfriend. We sat outside because we were watching the shareholder thing, and we didn't want to go in yet.
Yeah.
And then we had the conversation, which is, in a world of sustainable abundance, where the price of food and the price of manufacturing things, the price of my life generally drops. And instead of having a cleaner or a housekeeper, I have this robot and does all these things for me. What do I end up doing? What is worth pursuing at this point? Because you say that, that the cat is out the bag as it relates to job impact. It's already happening.
Well, certain kinds of AI for certain kinds.
Okay. I want everybody to see what the question that he's asking. And by the way, he's not even a believer.
But he's getting the idea.
But he is asking a question that visits the very core of humanity.
Yep.
He says, we get all these robots.
Can
Can I say this, David? I saw a demonstration the other day of robots installing a floor in a house. Flawlessly.
Okay.
Humanoid robots.
Yeah, but again, the robotic aspect is going to take over more and more, which means we will get a floor installed for less money because there's no human
100%
work into it. That means that operations can be done more accurately for less money because you don't need to train a doctor for 18 years before he can operate on something. You just downgrade the software into the robot, and if you need another one, you get another one.
Number one cost in building a home: people.
Well, number one
Insurance,
cost in most things.
I mean, imagine. Think about this. Let's just even forget. Let's just assume that you don't pay a dime to have a guy work on your house, build your house. Okay? They still have to sleep. They still have to go poo-poo. They still have to eat. Imagine instead of 4 hours a day or 6 hours a day, you got a robot working 24 hours a day. Think about what that means. He's asking the question here, what is there left for us to do as humans?
Well, there is basically things to do. I mean, are we going to get robotic plumbers at some point?
They're talking about it. I'm going to just say this about people in the trades. If you are here and you're watching and you are a part of the trades, any one of you, God bless you, you're going to be the ones saving Western civilization.
The trades are?
Meaning plumbers, electricians, all of that.
Carpenters.
But guess what? AI's coming after you.
Yeah.
AI's coming after you.
Okay, but what will the AI, what will the robots replace, and what will they not replace?
That's part of this question right
Let's
here.
go.
It's very, very interesting, by the way.
Jobs, and we can choose still from here which way we want to go. But go on, yeah.
And I'm just wondering, in such a future where you think about even yourself and your family and your friends, what are you going to be spending your time doing in such a world of abundance? If there was 10 billion,
well, the question is, are we going to
robots,
get abundance, or are we going to get just jobs being automated? And then the question is still, who's going to pay for people's livelihoods? So the math, as I understand it, doesn't currently seem to work out where everyone can get a stipend to pay for their whole life and life quality that as they currently know it. And are a handful of Western or US-based AI companies going to consciously distribute that wealth to literally everyone, meaning including all the countries around the world whose entire economy was based on a job category that got eliminated? So for example, places like the Philippines, where a huge percentage of the jobs are customer service jobs. If that got automated away, are we going to have OpenAI pay for all of the Philippines? Do you think that people in the US are going to prioritize that? So then you end up with the problem of you have law firms that are...
So wait until he starts talking about law firms. Because these companies like OpenAI, their whole goal is like any other company's goal. They want money. They want the bottom dollar. They also want power. I mean, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But when you can easily replace customer service, when all of these things can easily be done, David, it would make you sick if you knew what AI can do right now. As it is, it would make you sick.
But what he's saying is this. We generate wealth by working. We go to our job and we do our job, and that's how we get paid, and that money moves the economy.
So I would disagree with you on that statement. We generate wealth by trading our money for time. We generate wealth by creating value for other people. We generate wealth by making our money work for us. But I know what you mean. People make a living at the lowest level, the closest to the animal kingdom level, right? By trading their time for money. That is the general world in which we live.
Okay. So again, we're going back to, if we want a doctor who can give us medical treatment, that doctor needs to be trained for years and years and years.
100%.
He needs to be, and there's a whole there's a whole industry goes into training him, goes into preparing him. And if I could just put a machine on the floor and give it the right programming, then I don't need to train a doctor.
No.
And then all of the people who needed to help train them, and all the doctors who needed to spend years and years and years into becoming a doctor, right now, becoming a doctor means downloading a new software into a machine.
It's not even downloading new software into a machine. You already are. With AI, becoming a doctor is you simply having the capacity to be able to do it robotically.
Okay. So let's take this forward. Then what happens? Nobody needs to work.
That's where this guy's about to go. Listen to this. This is crazy.
Okay.
Not wanting to hire junior lawyers because, well, the AI is way better than a junior lawyer who just graduated from law school. So you have two problems. You have the law student that just put in a ton of money and is in debt because they just got a law degree that now they can't get hired to pay off. And then you have law firms whose longevity depends on senior lawyers being trained from being a junior lawyer to a senior lawyer. What happens when you don't have junior lawyers that are actually learning on the job to become senior lawyers? You just have this sort of elite managerial class for each of these domains. So you lose intergenerational.
Okay, elite managerial class. I want to read this to you, which, by the way, as I said before, many of these pastors who don't know their Bibles aren't going to be able to recall this right off the bat, but I'm going to do it, okay? Let's go to Revelation chapter 6, okay? Because he said it. The elite managerial class. I want you to focus in on that. That's what he said. Elite managerial class. You've got 4 horsemen that are mentioned in the book of Revelation chapter 6. The first seal gets open. You've got the rider of the white horse. That is presumably the Antichrist. You've got the second seal that opens. That is the rider of the red horse. Mm-hmm. As a result of what the Antichrist does, which, by the way, the Bible says in Revelation 6, he has a bow, but he does not have an arrow. And it actually tells us that he conquers and goes forth conquering. Or he goes forth conquering and he conquers. Okay? He's given a crown. This is totalitarianism. He's a totalitarian ruler. You've got the second seal. You've got the red horse. The red horse brings war. You've got the third seal. After war comes economic collapse. It's the rider of the black horse.
Yep.
I want you to listen to a section of this. This is still in reference to the rider of the black horse. Okay? He says this. Very end of Revelation chapter 6, verse 6. I talk about this in my book, by the way, extensively. He says, "See thou hurt not the oil and the wine."
Okay.
See thou hurt not the oil and the wine. What is he talking about? He's talking about the rich, elite, ruling class.
Mm.
Let me rewind what this guy just said, because this is critical, okay?
On senior lawyers being trained from being a junior lawyer to a senior lawyer. What happens when you don't have junior lawyers that are actually learning on the job to become senior lawyers? You just have this sort of elite managerial class for each of these domains.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 6. That's what he's talking about here.
Well,
this is, AI is going to do this with everything. I mean, poof.
so what are we going to work at after AI takes over everything?
Bro, we're going to be raptured. That's what I think. I think we're going to be gone by the time that happens.
Amen.
I mean, there's a whole other discussion to be had about the mechanics of AI and how large language models work and how I actually believe there's a whole epistemology that drives what AI does and actually why it is as consequential as it is, that really, when you think about it, you have certain levels that God has created. I mean, it's in Genesis. You can see it, of building value, wealth, right? You have a level that is very close to the animal kingdom, and that is this raw grit. You labor, and it's just a raw labor. Then you have another level where you sort of control the labor. That's level number 2. And you make a little bit more money doing that. Then you've got another level. And that level is those that use their mouths. Communication. You know, if you start at the lowest level, you're probably making $60,000 a year at the high end. If you graduate to the managerial level, for what lack of a better term, you may be making $150,000 a year, $200,000 a year. You graduate to the level of communications, you're making hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Those are the guys that are writing books. Those are the guys that are, by the way, I'm not making anything like that. This book is not going to make me anything close to that.
Yeah,
I just want to make myself very, very clear.
Hundreds of, okay.
No, but I'm talking about movie stars, playwrights, all that. That's another level. Then there's the level that we're talking about right now. It's the scary level. It's the level of imagination. I will just say this right now. I'm going to give credit because these 4 levels are levels that I did not come up with on my own.
Okay.
The scriptures teach this. Myron Golden is the first person I think I've heard talk about it. He's pretty brilliant when it comes to stuff like this. But you get to this level of imagination, and all of a sudden, things really, really begin to change. This is where you take over the world type level. But I want everybody to notice this because this is very important for the AI discussion, okay? You start at the most basic level. You start at the level of implementation, as Myron would call it. This basic worker bee level. It is the farthest away from what is spiritual that exists. The higher you climb that stairway, the more spiritual it becomes. AI introduces the level of imagination without that which is completely spiritual.
Without anything spiritual.
Yeah, so it destroys. I wouldn't say without anything that's spiritual.
Can AI be
I would
spiritual?
say no. But what I would say is AI is a reflection in many cases of the spiritual darkness that exists within its creators. So it will, in essence, carry out its very heart. Very important to understand that.
But here's the thing. Doesn't AI become self-aware at some point?
It is. Well, it becomes self-aware when it becomes, and this is this discussion about AGI, right? Where you actually start talking about general intelligence, artificial general intelligence, or ASI, okay, which is artificial superhuman intelligence. We're easily 5 to 10 years away from that. But this is what they want to achieve. The problem is, at this level of implementation, it breaks down if there's no human soul. And that's where the problem is. But this is what you're looking at right here is Revelation chapter 6 territory, and then you're getting into Revelation 13 territory. Okay, listen to this.
So you lose intergenerational knowledge transmission.
Interesting.
And that creates a societal weakening in the social fabric.
I was watching some.
By the way, what he's talking about is this. You have one generation that starts a business, does something, he develops a certain level of expertise. He takes that expertise, he hands it to the next generation.
Yeah.
The next generation takes the expertise of the first generation and the expertise that they developed in the second, and they build it into the third.
Stands on the shoulders.
Yeah. I'll tell you a family that I've been talking about a lot lately. I've done a few videos with them, the Mitchell family, okay, in Texas. David Mitchell, who is the patriarch of that family, his standing is because of multiple generations before him. He's an extremely wealthy man. He's a oil business owner, owns an aerospace company, and then owns a stock trading company. Here's the amazing thing about his wonderful children. All of his children are this way, and his children's children. They have been given a unique advantage. Every single generation that goes by, they are given the skill set of the previous generation.
Yep.
You should see how smart this young generation is. His daughter, Katie, I should probably point that. His daughter, Katie, who is now the CEO of the trading education company, who we do work with. Okay? She's a brilliant CEO. She is the reflection of multiple generations of family giving her an advantage. Yes, accumulating an advantage.
An advantage. Accumulating knowledge and expertise.
100%. What this man is saying, I'm going to rewind this so you can hear it, is this man is saying that AI stands to destroy those generations. It's the ultimate tool to do that.
Yeah, it sidesteps the accumulation.
It does. Listen to this. It's heavy.
Learning on the job to become senior lawyers. You just have this sort of elite managerial class for each of these domains.
Listen to what he says
So you
here.
lose intergenerational knowledge transmission.
Interesting.
And that creates a societal weakening in the social fabric.
I was watching some podcasts over the weekend with
A societal weakening in the social fabric.
Yeah.
Why do you think we have such a jacked up social fabric right now? Because the societal weakening that he's talking about has already been bypassed by academia. It's already been bypassed by the schools. It's already been bypassed by college. It's already been bypassed by the lies that are continuing to be communicated. What does college tell you? College says, well, you should reset. Forget what your family did. Go to the higher aspiration. Go to college. If your family never went to college, just forget them. Go do a new thing. Go be a doctor like your dad never was. No, stupid. If you have a father who developed generations of talent and skill and an ability, you go learn what your dad is doing. Why? Because you stand to be extraordinarily wealthy as a result of developing the skill set, the tool set that he spent his whole life developing.
Yep. So AI is going to replace all of this. What is man left with?
He's going to ask this question. He's literally going to ask this question right now. Listen to this.
successful billionaires who are working in AI talking about how they now feel that we should forgive student loans.
Yeah.
And I think in part this is because of what's happened in New York with, was it Mamdani?
Yeah, Mamdani, yeah.
Mamdani's been elected, and they're concerned that socialism's on the rise because the entry-level junior people in the society are suppressed under student debt, but also now they're going to struggle to get jobs, which means they're going to be more socialist in their voting, which means
Right.
a lot of people are going to lose power that want to keep power.
Yep, exactly. That's probably going to happen.
So the AI is turning us
okay.
to the left.
So what?
The AI is making us socialist.
Well, the AI is in essence, they're hoping in this context that AI is going to remove a certain function of socialism, which is the general dissatisfaction of their space and life, and the whole idea is a readaptation of the Roman philosophy. What were the three things that the Romans always guaranteed their people? You taught me this.
Bread and circus.
Bread and circus and security, safety.
Yeah.
Bread, circus,
And Pax
safety.
Romana.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So these people are seeking to develop a society as such. We'll give you bread, we'll give you circus, we'll give you security. You don't have to worry about anything else. And so long as you become our functional dependents, we own you. It's not socialism anymore. It becomes something much deeper and darker than that. It becomes cultural Marxism. And it actually goes further than that.
That's an interesting term. I haven't heard that one yet. Yeah, I have heard it, by the way.
Cultural Marxism is next level. When most people contextually bring up the word Marxism, they oftentimes think in terms of economics.
Yeah.
They don't think in terms of social construct.
Well, Karl Marx wrote, I think his manifest, I think it was called, from an economical point of view.
100%.
Now we're talking about social Marxism and cultural Marxism.
And that's the scary part. The scary part is the mechanics of what he argued to be economically based was fundamentally predicated upon the idea that it could be transferred over into what we understand as sociological or cultural. It was a satanic design.
Spiritual?
Oh, absolutely.
There we go.
Absolutely. We go from implementation to management to communication to imagination. And we are in what the Bible calls the vain imagination stage. This is the Romans 1 stage right here.
Let's see.
Concern about suddenly alleviating student debt is in part because they're worried that society will get more socialist when the divide increases.
Which is a version of UBI, or just carrying, a safety net that covers.
UBI, when he says UBI, just so you understand, he's talking about universal basic income. That is what he is.
Everybody should get a basic salary.
Yep.
No matter what he does.
Right. And
or doesn't do.
Mm-hmm. And that's the principle that he's introducing.
No, Europe is talking about it. I think the European Union was actually voted on.
America's talking about it. What are you talking about?
How much do we get?
Bro, only the Lord knows. Only the Lord knows.
So what happens when that happens?
I mean, we're in Antichrist territory at that point. We're in Revelation 13 territory. When it becomes global. Right now, it's very regional. We're seeing this happening regionally everywhere. But this is a cultural precedent that gets established. The economics become less the fundamental mechanics, and it's the social construct that becomes what's really mechanical about all of this. That's what's happening.
So what's the next stage?
Yeah, listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's basic needs. So relieving student debt is on the
Let me
way
rewind this.
to creating kind of that covers everyone's basic needs. So relieving student debt is on the way to creating kind of universal basic need meeting, right?
Do you think UBI will work as a concept? UBI, for anyone that doesn't know, is basically
universal basic income.
Distributing
everybody
money.
gets a stipend.
Giving people money every month.
But I mean, we have that with Social Security. We've done this when it came to pensions. That was after the Great Depression, I think in like 1935, 1937, FDR created Social Security. But what happens when you have to pay for everyone's livelihood everywhere in every country? Again, how can we afford that?
Well, if the costs go down 10x of making things.
This is where the math gets very confusing, because I think the optimists say you can't imagine how much abundance and how much wealth it will create. And so we will be able to generate that much. But the question is, what is the incentive again for the people who've consolidated all that wealth to redistribute it to everybody else?
We just have to tax them.
And how will we do that when the corporate lobbying interests of trillion-dollar AI companies can massively influence the government more than human political power? Well, in a way, this is the last moment that human political power will matter. It's sort of a use it or lose it moment, because if we wait to the point where in the past, in the Industrial Revolution...
what this sounds like? I'm a Trekkie. I mean, I grew up in Star Trek.
Yeah.
This is the Star Trek universe.
This is the Star Trek universe. This is a Star Trek universe that is satanically controlled.
Yeah, but the Star Trek universe is no money. Everybody receives education. I mean, that's the way they kind of they deal with moral problems, and they don't want to deal with, the economics of it. They only want to deal with, Star Trek doesn't deal with the economics. It only deals with the morality and the emotional. This is, I'm going to say, the universe where humanity is being utilized not because what it achieves, but because what it is. This is the Matrix.
Very much so.
I mean, again, doesn't matter what you can do. It doesn't matter what you think.
Satanic version.
Exactly. All right.
Okay, here we go. Listen to this.
Automating, a bunch of the work, and people have to do these jobs that people don't want to do in the factory, and there's like bad working conditions. They can unionize and say, hey, we don't want to work under those conditions. And their voice mattered because the factories needed the workers. Mm-hmm. In this case, does the state need the humans anymore? Their GDP is coming in almost entirely from the AI companies. So suddenly this political class, this political power base, they become the useless class, to borrow a term from Yuval Harari, the author of *Sapiens*.
Which, Yuval's one of your people.
Well.
Well, he's a Jew. That's about as
So
that's
was
about as
Karl
much
Marx.
as your people. Yeah,
So was Karl Marx.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So was Einstein. I mean, so was Spinoza.
Yeah, no, but Yuval Harari is one of the leaders in what I would consider to be the satanic implementation of AI.
Ooh, didn't we just talk about a Jew who helped destroy the temple?
I know, bro. I know.
How did this come together? Is
I
that
know.
not a Balagan connection?
I know, and it is. It's a massive Balagan connection. Here we go.
In fact, he has a different frame, which is that AI is like a new version of digital. It's like a flood of millions of new digital immigrants, of alien digital immigrants that are Nobel Prize level capability, work at superhuman speed, will work for less than minimum wage. We're all worried about, immigration of the other countries next door taking labor jobs. What happens when AI immigrants come in and take all of the cognitive labor? If you're worried about immigration, you should be way more worried about AI.
Obviously.
Like, it dwarfs it.
Yeah.
You can think of it like this. I mean, if you think about, we were sold a bill of goods.
Listen to what he says here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to read a section of Revelation 13.
All right.
And this will make sense.
In the 1990s with NAFTA, we said, hey, we're going to, NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, we're going to outsource all of our manufacturing to these developing countries, China, Southeast Asia, and we're going to get this abundance. We're going to get all these cheap goods, and it'll create this world of abundance. Well, all of us will be better off. But what did that do? Well, we did get all these cheap goods. You can go to Walmart and go to Amazon, and things are unbelievably cheap, but it hollowed out the social fabric. And the median worker is not seeing upward mobility. In fact, people feel more pessimistic about that than ever. And people can't buy their own homes. And all of this is because we did get the cheap goods, but we lost the well-paying jobs for everybody in the middle class. Mm-hmm. And AI is like another version of NAFTA. It's like NAFTA 2.0. Except instead of China appearing on the world stage who will do the manufacturing labor for cheap, suddenly this country of geniuses in a data center created by AI appears on the world stage. And it will do all of the cognitive labor in the economy for less than minimum wage. And we're being sold a same story. This is going to create abundance for all, but it's creating abundance in the same way that the last round created abundance. It did create cheap goods, but it also undermined the way that the social fabric works and created
So it falls apart. Wait, let me finish this last sentence.
populism in democracies all around the world.
He's not exaggerating. His characterization of the potential problem, in my opinion, is being minimized. I don't think he's fully describing how absolutely bad it could become. And then when you put it in light of passages like this, look at this. This is talking about the false prophet, right? Okay. And the beast himself.
Where are we?
This is Revelation chapter 13. Mm-hmm. He says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Tell me if that doesn't sound like some form of implementation of AI.
So the power of the image, I mean, this is like a...
It could be anything.
Visual
It's some
image.
Some visual representation of what I probably think is some form of AGI or something like that.
And cause as many as that would not worship the image to be killed.
Yeah. In other words, you have to show your loyalty to the beast by worshiping this image.
Competition between AIs. As of now, how many? I mean, there's
probably 5 major companies. I'd say 5 major companies, like of the big hitters.
OpenAI.
5 of the daddies.
OpenAI.
Yep. You've got Grok.
Which
You've got Gemini.
What's Gemini?
Gemini is in essence Google's.
Okay.
Microsoft is competing on an AI plane. There's a few of them. There's several of them.
We all know OpenAI, ChatGPT.
You've got the people who do Claude. There's a few, but they're big boys. Yeah. They're not messing around. Gemini, by the way, is
I don't know. Have you tried them all?
Huh?
Have you tried them all?
I use them all.
I haven't touched. I mean, I mess around with chat a little bit.
Every single person that is watching this live broadcast is using some form of AI. You might not even know it.
Yeah.
It's on your phones. It's in your drives.
No,
it's when
totally.
you drive. It's people use it. If you use Google, let's just say you browse Google, you're using Gemini.
If you use a navigation, there's an AI that when you say, give me Smith Street number 46,
Yep.
an AI has to figure out what you mean and kind of bring up the relevant information.
Yep. Yeah, AI will actually get all of the data with how fast vehicles are moving and will make a determination as to how long it's going to take you to get somewhere. That's all AI. Everybody's using it. If you're watching YouTube right now, you're using AI.
Yeah.
AI brought you to this place. Well, I'd like to think the Holy Spirit did, but you know what I mean. Okay, fine. We'll close off on this last part.
Okay.
Because there's so much more to say, and we can revisit it every week. But look what he says here.
You disagree?
No, I agree.
Well, I'm not, I'm...
Yeah, no, I'm trying to play devil's advocate as much as I can.
Yeah, please, yeah.
But no, I agree. And it is absolutely bonkers how much people care about immigration relative to AI. It's like, it's driving all the election outcomes at the moment across the world. And whereas AI doesn't seem to be part of the conversation.
And AI will reconstitute every other issue that already exists. You care about climate change or energy, well, AI will reconstitute the climate change conversation. If you care about education, AI will reconstitute that conversation. If you care about healthcare, AI reconstitutes all of these conversations. And what I think people need to do is AI should be a tier 1 issue that people are voting for. And you should only vote for politicians who will make it a tier 1 issue where you want guardrails to have a conscious selection of an AI future and the narrow path to a better AI future rather than the default reckless path.
Is there any way to put guardrails on it? I mean, are we past the point of non-return?
We may be past the point. We may be past the point. This guy did another interview of the guy who pretty much invented AI. He's the godfather of AI. He's the guy that wrote the textbook on it. That basically says that had they done a series of things about 15 years ago, it would have made it safe.
Interesting.
Now, it's almost impossible.
What would make AI safe? I mean, what could you have done to make AI safe?
Building a mechanism in it that doesn't allow itself to be able to generate any kind of a solution that would
three
endanger
rules of robotics.
that would endanger the human.
The 3 rules of robotics.
In essence,
Isaac Asimov. I don't know if you remember him, and I don't know if you saw the movie I, Robot.
no.
But he wrote a series of books where, again, he went into self-aware robots have to have 3 general rules that kind of. So
I'd be interested to see what those 3 general rules are. Do you remember?
Yeah, one is that you shall not harm a human. You shall not in direction allow a human to harm himself, something like that. And you have to listen to what humans tell you to do.
Huh.
Something like that. I kind of.
In essence, that's what this guy was proposing needed to be done 15 years ago. Can it be done today? Pulling that back in, very, very hard. My point is this. My point is we are rapidly headed towards the world of the final Antichrist. There's no other way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
And so long as a society becomes the enemy of Israel, the society will eat itself up.
Oh, here we go. So tie that one together.
Well, let's just think about it like this. The very central of Israel is the apple of God's eye. It's the core of it.
Do you know that Israel is the forefront of AI technology today?
Oh, 100%.
Totally. By the way, I have the 3 rules. You want to hear them?
Yeah, let me hear them.
A robot may not injure a human being through inaction or allow a human being, or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. A robot must obey the orders given it by human beings unless that order conflicts with the first law. And a robot must protect its own existence as long as protection does not conflict with the first or second law. So first, you have to not injure a human being in any way. You have to obey the human beings, and then you must protect yourself unless that conflicts with the first and second law. So those are known as the 3 laws of robotics, and Isaac Asimov did a series of books on that one. I, Robot, starring Will Smith, was one of them. Basically, that actually said the same thing. But we're going to have to, I mean, it's too late. I don't think this can be plugged into the AI system that we know today.
It's a very spiritual issue. It's a very spiritual issue, and that's in essence what it comes to.
Well, here's the thing. AI has no spirit. So,
but it's reflective of.
Yeah, I get you. But, I mean, a story that is written by AI has no spiritual element. I mean, think about AI can write sermons, but there's no Holy Spirit in them. If I'm understanding correctly the dynamics of this. I mean, if you go in and say, give me a 45-minute sermon about Philippians 2 verses 3 to 6, AI will write out a sermon for you. Is that a real sermon? Is that not a threat?
No. Let me ask you a question. Is it a real sermon if AI is writing the sermon out and,
that's
and,
the
and
whole
you're
thing.
following it?
But that's no different from music that is being written or paintings that are being painted or children that are being taught all these things are being done without any element of spirit in them. It is all programmable, for lack of a better word. What am I missing here? I mean, we're taking spirit, we're taking human spirit, we're taking Holy Spirit out of everything that is connected to human beings. Is that what's going to happen?
That's a very nuanced question, bro. Because it's not as simple as that.
Okay.
It's not as simple as that because you have to keep this in mind. The extension of AI as we understand it is based on a large language model. The way large language models are created are so much more dangerous than how you would generally pursue the mechanics of something. Let me just explain what I mean when I say this, okay? If you have something, like let's just say you have a vehicle, okay? And you're a mechanic. You're the creator of the vehicle. Let's just say you built it from the ground up yourself, okay? And the vehicle breaks down.
Okay.
You know exactly what to do.
All right.
You know where the cogs are. You can open it up. You can repair it. You can do whatever you want to do. Okay? AI doesn't work that way, especially with these large language models. Okay? Let me give you an example. Let's just say you give AI the task of being able to identify a photo. And the end result of the identification of that photo is an answer that you're looking for.
Okay.
So I take a photo and I tell AI, what kind of a tree is this? Oh, it's a eucalyptus tree. Does it look healthy? No, actually it doesn't. In the early stages of these AIs, and I'm oversimplifying this, like super oversimplifying it, okay? You could send a picture like that and it would say it's a giraffe. It's a rock.
But now it's learned and it's studied.
Well, but let me explain how they fix this. Okay? So, in order to fix the output, you have to input into it millions and millions and millions
of pictures,
of pieces of data. Let's not even call it pictures. Let's just call it pieces of data.
Yeah.
When you want a certain output, the way you adjust the output is by throwing a whole bunch of things into the input. So by the time you get the desired output, you have no idea what went into it in order to fix the output. This is why AI research is such a scary thing. Because in the sense of, I invented this cup that heats itself. There's certain elements in it. There's a battery element. There's some electronics in it. There's, I know all about it. Something breaks, I can fix it. If AI is not working the way it was designed, if it's not outputting correctly, I just throw billions and trillions of things at it in order to adjust its output. The problem with that is the more things I throw at it in order to adjust its output, which is in essence the core of the large language model, the less I know about the internal mechanics of it.
It starts teaching itself.
You're literally building a monster.
Yeah. But a monster that has no soul.
Would you rather have a monster that has a soul, or would you rather have a monster that has no soul?
No, what I'm trying to say is,
I know what you're saying.
The how do you say, the image that I'm kind of fixating on is, okay, take a legal system. We know the law that says if you do this, this is the punishment. You do that, this is the punishment. But we all know that the judgment determining what has been done, I mean, the Bible has dealt with this forever and ever, okay? And you have to have a judge that interprets the law. I mean, you could do without a judge. I mean, this happens, then this happens. But, okay, so you've got something in it. And then you go into a different layer and you say, wait a minute, we want that the interpretation of the law is done by a group of, judgment by peers, where there's other people who need to take the law that is actually written and put a human aspect on it. That's why we are being judged, tried by peers.
100%.
Okay, so an AI doesn't have any peers. It doesn't matter the human aspect. An AI has only the letter of the law.
It's scarier than that. It doesn't have the letter of the law. That's the scary thing. The scary thing about AI is it recreates the very letter of the law. So if the letter of the law doesn't fit within the context of the parameters that it's trying to build, it creates new parameters. The letter of the law completely changes.
All right.
You want to talk about, like, the function of spiritual implementation being completely ripped out of what makes it spiritual.
Exactly.
It's scary, bro.
Okay. Are we going to be raptured before or after this?
Oh, man, I'm hoping and certain it's going to be before. I mean, it's bad.
Well, we've got some friends in Texas in a pre-trib conference right now. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I was told that. Yeah.
So
yeah, because I was gonna record with Tom, and then he was busy, and then I was gonna record with Andy for Countdown. I just did it myself, but they were both at this pre-trib conference. Big conference is what I hear.
Yep.
I never get invited to any of those things.
Do you want to be invited?
No.
I mean, I'm putting it together for you.
I don't want to be invited. I am kind of a hermit.
Yeah, you are.
I like being at home. I'm not a big traveling guy. No, it's not.
We're gonna have to start wrapping this up.
Okay. Let me give you the final words.
Give it. Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll give you the opportunity to give the final words. That's a little bit more clear. I wasn't very clear.
Okay. So here's again. Last night I watched a movie called Tron, which is basically
Tron, like old school Tron, like from the 80s?
Tron from the 80s. And again,
man, it's been a long time.
There's a new one that came out now. Okay, Tron Ari said I haven't seen yet, but in order to see that one, I mean, I grew up in the, how do you say, the analog age moving into the digital.
Yeah,
so the first game, Tron was a game. The first game I actually played in the arcades. I mean, I put the quarter inside and played the game.
Me too.
Later on, they made a movie. One of the first digitally created movies was the old Tron that they made.
I remember.
Which basically the concept is that a program can become self-aware. That's the so Jeff Bridges actually is the creator of this utopian world. Then he goes into the world and gets stuck inside. The second movie I saw last night is his son coming in to pull him out. By the way, there are elements of Christianity that are deeply inside that.
Well, it's like I don't know where these movie script writers get it from. Like, this is kind of scary. Did you watch the most recent Top Gun movie?
Yeah.
Bro, I mean, it was a description of the Iran operation.
Yep.
Like,
Totally.
it was Iran. It was blowing up Iran, basically. It was like, you would have thought that someone jumped into the U.S. military's intelligence
or the Israeli
intelligence and created that movie.
Yep. By the way, we still don't know what happened in the 12-Day War, and more information is coming out as we speak.
Oh, yeah, bro. It was bad. It was bad. They made that mountain a solid just...
By the way, one little piece of information people might want to understand about Israel. The first Iron Beam has come online and is operational now.
2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Sweet, by the way.
So that is going to change a lot of what's going on, because if you take the drone effect out of it, I mean, take the drones out of the war, I mean, we've changed warfare to a certain extent. Look what's happened in Ukraine. Look what's happened in Israel.
Oh, yeah.
So...
Oh, yeah. And actually, that laser system has already had interceptions.
Oh, yeah. Quite a few.
Yeah.
On the other hand, the drone is going to be... Have you seen a swarm of drones in some of the movies about some of the swarms of drones? So what I'm trying to say is technology is running all over the place. It's running in the physical world. It's running in the, I'm going to say not the spiritual, but the creational world.
Oh, no, very spiritual, bro.
And now what we're seeing is the melt into the spiritual world, which is probably going to be very scary. I hope my wife is listening to me right now, okay? And how much this is going to play a role, and this is something that we're going to be watching. What are we going to do next week? You want to go in this deeper?
I think so. I think next week I should be able to get permission from these guys, and we're definitely gonna talk about it. Yeah, because I think it's kind of important. There's a lot to be said. And then also, before we go, I do want to mention one more time, please support us. This book is very important to me. Pray. You know what? Pray and fast that this somehow gets in Joe Rogan's hands. I really want his exposure to Revelation to be something solid.
Maybe this is the segue that we want. Do you understand that the two conversations that we had, okay, is AI and what the world's going to look like, and Revelation.
Yeah.
And that is, that if there's anything you take away from today, take that away. And that might be the trigger that'll get Joe Rogan kind of connected to it.
Man, I hope so. Because more people need to know about this. Like, the Bible tells us what's going on. And people don't even realize it. Like, we are literally in a world war. You know, President Trump has been an amazing president for peace. But what most people don't realize is we are right now in a world war, and that world war is spiritual, and Jerusalem is absolutely at the center of it. It's a big deal. Lots to talk about, lots to pray about.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to watch the third movie sometimes between now and then.
The Tron one?
The Tron one.
Tron.
And again, think about this. The Tron movies, the Matrix movies, all are dealing with this question.
Oh, yeah.
As we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I only watched the very first Tron movie, and it's been years. Big smile on my face, because I must have been not 8 or 9 years old when I watched that movie.
Well, check it out. It's interesting that this is coming up and being a part of the discussion again.
It's because it's come full circle.
Yeah.
It's actually happening. It's a very spiritual implementation. All right, brother, you want to close this up in prayer?
Yeah. Avinu Shebashamayim, our world is going into a big balagan. Just we know, we understand that you've got control, but from our point of view, sometimes it looks so wacko and so crazy. Just give us the wisdom and give us the hope. The wisdom from your word and the hope from your word that we will kind of be able to sail these waters, be able to walk through this valley, and that you will be here to comfort us. And more than anything, the more scary it gets, and the more how to say dark and gloomy it gets, we know that at the end there is you. And I just want to say thank you for that. Thank you for that, and from the deepness of my soul. We pray for everybody who's been listening to us and everybody who's connected to this, and we pray for this book to be able to impact more and more people, and the world is looking for this kind of impact and this kind of understanding. Keep us all safe this week, and keep our families safe, and please talk to my people. Talk to my people in Israel and abroad, and prepare them for what is coming.
Yes.
Talk for our people in the churches here in the United States, and help them understand the signs of the times that
Yes.
are being thrown on us. And just, we pray for the peace of Jerusalem. In the name of Yeshua, your son. Amen.
Amen. All right, guys, we love you. God bless you. Do not forget, it's called The Last Book. It is on the first 11 chapters of the book of Revelation. Please go out, secure your copy, make it a gift to other people. We love you guys. Thank you for your support. You are all amazing.
Thank you, Dean.
Shalom. Dean, thank you.